Whether you are a budding web developer or web developer nearing retirement, you will have already had to deal with a JSON file. JSON is an acronym which means JavaScript Object Notation. JSON is now the standard for exchanging data between backend and frontend or between different systems, and is also used as a format in configuration files, replacing old formats such as text files, CSV files, and XML files. A JSON file can be simply an ordered list of values, or sequence can be a set of key value pairs, more or less complex, which can reflect the structure of an object, a dictionary, an array, or other element defined through a programming language to represent an entity of application that provide use with the data or to which we transmit the information. A JSON file is much more flexible than a CSV, so it will allow you to represent a more or less complex data structure. To be clear, a CSV file is a text file in which the data is separated by predefined characters such as comma, a semicolon, a tabulation, but in general, a character chosen by the person who defines the file structure. With a JSON file, you will also have the same freedom to represent an object that a file in XML format offer you, but JSON is much more later than XML. This feature has allowed JSON format to become preferred format among developers. For this reason, you can use files in JSON in these cases. Web API. To integrate a web service into their application, developers make use of API, which is an interface to lawfully access the data of a service. Structured data used to improve the user experience search results page. They help engine spiders to better understand the contents of a web page. And finally, configuration file. To work correctly, some development tools read the settings from a file in JSON format. JSON syntax. JSON syntax is easy for humans to read and write. JSON syntax consists of a series of key value pairs. Keys are always of type string, while the value of a key can be a string, a boolean, a number, a null value, an array, or an object. String must be enclosed in double quotes and can contain escape characters such as end-of-line character, \n, tabulation character, \t, or simply \. When you decide to write your JSON file to avoid the stress of getting the syntax wrong, you can use online tools such as the site json.parser.online. You can use the present example. Met sequences is a number of sequence example, or John Doe is a structured data example. All JS types creates a JSON with the data types and special characters provided by this format. But JSON is a standard certified by the fact that all the programming languages used in the web environment include libraries for encoding and decoding. Convert an object to JSON. On a Monday morning, just arrived, my boss told me, "Okay, cowboy code, by today I need our web service to expose a method that returns a JSON like this." One thing that is not easy for me is to start the week and to write a class starting from a JSON. Let's see how to write a class in an object-oriented language such as C#, which once converted to JSON reflects the structure of a John Doe example. We create a console-type project with Visual Studio, so the input will be printed on the Windows shell. Assign a name to a project. Let's focus on how to write the class. We add a John Doe class to the project, no matter what we call it. Reading the JSON, it expects an ID files, and we tell it that it's not of a nullable int type because it expects null values. Two string members name and first name. A member of the age, class of a type short. We could also say type int, but I prefer to assign a type compatible with the value that can actual variable contains. Hobbies. Hobbies is a non-homogeneous array because it can contain both strings and an object itself. We define it as a generic list of objects. We had another class called Sports that I'm going to announce and add to the list of hobbies. The Sport class contains an array of strings. The John Doe class has another empty address object. So I define an address class and add an address members. So whenever you see the curly brackets in the JSON, it's equivalent to writing a class. When instead you see the square brackets, it's equivalent to an array member. Now we just have to use the main method in which we print on the console to instantiate the classes and enhance the fields with the data from the examples. Now transfer the class into a JSON object. To do this, we use the dedicated class JSON convert of a .NET framework. We pass class instance to the serialize object method, and finally we print of a console. This is the result of our program. It's the same string of JSON parser online. Now to try to convert the JSON to the object. Finally, we do the reverse process, convert the JSON string into a John Doe class instance. First, convert the double quotes into single quotes and pass the string to the deserialize object method. Specifying between the angle brackets in which type I want to convert the JSON. And finally, print the name and first name in console. And this is the result. Well, that's all. I invite you to like and subscribe to the channel for the next stress-free coding video. Bye!